arranging affordable flight tickets for you and assisting you with accommodation near your school so that you can really focus on what matters. Start your journey today and explore endless opportunity with Eros Education by your side. Eros Education, guiding your study abroad journey with care, experience, and trust. Study abroad with Eros Education. Welcome to another Eros Education live webinar today. My name is Joash, and joining with me is Dr. Posedi Edwards and Abigail. It is such a privilege to share a lot of our experience being Eros Education here today with you. And as an introduction to all of you who do not know what Eros Education do, we are Eros Education is an education agency and consultancy. We work across 30 over countries, working with more than 2,500 education institutions, offering thousands of courses in all fields ranging from K-12 to PhD. Eros Education offer one of the most affordable support service for your dream of studying abroad. And so if studying abroad is a dream that you'd like to get started on, visit us on our website, erostransactions.com, and fill in the application form and upload all the documents, all your relevant documents, such as your transcript, your exam results, and with our consultants and as well as our algorithms, we are able to help formulate one of a few of your best options that are available to you. And once we are okay to move forward, we will start the process of applying and receiving an admission offer for you. And we'll also handle your visa travels for you. And once you are ready, when we go there, when you arrive at the country, we will also have someone to guide you and to lead you all the way until you settle in your new journey. And so do not hesitate to visit us on all our social media accounts and our website. Also reach out to us on WhatsApp as well. And our professional consultant will be ready to serve you and all the needs that you have. And today on our webinar, we are excited to share with you some of the experience of what's it like studying abroad. And what are some of the challenges of studying abroad, and how can Eros Education actually help you on this journey? And with us today, we have Dr. Posedi Edwards to share with us on studying abroad. What's it like? And perhaps get you ready to think about your own journey as well of studying abroad. Without further ado, I would love to hand this time over to Dr. Bosedi for this webinar. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Josh. Good evening, everyone, or maybe I should say good afternoon. It's evening at my end. It's about 4 minutes after 8 p.m., but I'm sure it's afternoon somewhere else, so good afternoon. If it's morning at your end, good morning. Thank you for joining this session. It's actually a special session, I would say, because most of our sessions are usually in the afternoon, much earlier in the day, but today, think this is a bit convenient for some of our audiences, and we have decided to shift ground and make that happen. So thank you for coming, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to learn one or two things that could help you in your journey to wherever your heart desires to go. And I think to also make that happen, we don't just want to be all talk. We wanted you to actually see firsthand or hear firsthand from someone who has been affected positively by arrows. So we have a special guest on the session today, and that's Abygael Chebat from Kenya. She's going to be sharing her experience later on after my short presentation. So I'll be sharing my screen, and then we'll quickly go through that, just basic information that could be useful for you as you begin your journey. Okay, this. Okay, can you see my screen, please? Okay.
Yep, perfect. Let's go.
Thank you very much. So, it's an attempt to help you own your future and see that you realize your dream. So we're going to just focus on three things, like I've mentioned. We have already done the first one about Taurus Education. Joash has already introduced the company and the consultancy services that are provided. And I'm just going to talk briefly about preparing for studying abroad, and then we're going to have a sharing time with Abigail. So why study abroad? I'm sure I don't need to tell you about that. I'm sure you know all about that and all the benefits that international education can give you. The global reach that your degree gotten abroad can actually open you up to, the edge that you could have in your career because you studied abroad, the excellence in your academics, and of course, personal development, not to talk of building an international network of friends and colleagues and peers who you never can tell where you can get to with each other in the future. So those are all opportunities that comes when you study abroad. So the idea of studying abroad, it's more than just getting a degree. It's a launch pad to making you become a global citizen. So that's these are reasons why it's very important. And I would say for many people that might be here today, study abroad could also be an opportunity for you to become a citizen of another country. I know there are many people whose desire is, I just need another passport. That could be the beginning of your journey to getting another passport as well. So those are all benefits that you could get from studying abroad. However, there are different levels of studying, and so you need to decide which one your situation aligns with. You could be studying at bachelor's level or even below that, a master's level, a PhD, or if you don't fall into any one of these categories, it could be professional development. So whichever your case is, I just want to say from the beginning that you are covered by arrows, any of these stages. And even if your case is below bachelor's, yes, you are also covered. We have cases of people who just want to study for maybe their diploma programs. We also have programs that cover high school students, and then you can also transfer your study. So maybe you're already studying for your bachelor's in an institution in another country, and you would like to move your study to another country, that's also covered. So you just need to say, oh, this is what I'm thinking about, or this is my situation. What are my options? And then somebody is going to advise you and guide you and help you to see what options are available for you. And then, well, there are basic things that I would say you need to know. The basic entry requirements, usually these things vary by nations and it varies by the program you are interested in. So you just need to find out first, which country do you intend to go? Because each country is also specify different qualifications, different entry requirements for different kinds of programs. So maybe you could have the privilege of studying at bachelor's level with certain number of, I'll say, distinctions at high school, or maybe lower in some other countries. So these are all things that you need to factor in depending on which country you decide to go. There are also different national policies regarding international students in different countries. So it's not the same. And I think it has been mentioned when Joash was presenting, Arrows is covering about 36 different countries. So I can't possibly provide basic entry requirements for 36 different countries. So I would say the basic thing will be at least think about nothing less than 3 credits or distinctions at high school level. That will be grade 11 or grade 12. And then English will be a requirement for many. If you come from a country where English is not the official language, it's not the language of study, If you come from a country where it's the language of study, there is a document called the proof of your English study or something. So you can provide that in place of English test. So these are all different issues that comes up depending on where you want to study and where your country of nationality is. So the best thing will be, okay, let's have a conversation about this and then decide what works for you based on your situation. Another issue for international students is admission, annual admission timelines. It varies. In some countries, they only take in international students once in a year, in September or August. It's just once in a year. So if you want to study and you miss this September, it means that you're going to have to wait until another September if you insist that that's the only country you want to go. There are some countries where you have admissions seasons, maybe 2, some have 4, and some are practically taking in students almost every month of the year because maybe private universities, private colleges, public universities, public colleges have more than one admission timelines. And by the time all that is spread over a year, you can practically go in at any time. Another issue that you may need to consider in terms of that also is your course may have a particular admission timeline. So maybe if you are studying other courses, then you don't have much problem. But if you are studying this particular course, then that is only one, or there are particular admission timelines. So these are things that you also have to track in order for you to be ready at the right time. Then we have the visa rules and their dynamics. If you are someone who has been interested in traveling abroad for some time, and you have been following events around the world, you would have seen how dynamic visa rules and policies are these days. It's like they wake up every day and something changes. By tomorrow, the policies that were there yesterday are no more there. So they keep changing. And so because of that, you may also need help to make sure that you are keeping abreast of what's going on and then finding out what are the specific visa rules for international students from your country in the country you want to go to study. Because you are coming from, if you come from country A, the visa rules might be totally different for someone coming from country B. Sometimes, or I would say in most cases, the bilateral relationship between your country of origin and your country of study dictates a lot about what happens to you when you want to go to study in a particular country. So if you're going to need visa to go to study in a particular country, then that becomes something that you also have to factor into your admission timelines. I will explain that a little bit. For example, let's say the intake is usually September every year. So you want to go in for September 2026, for example. Now, visa rules requires you to maybe visa processing time is about 3 months. So now you have 3 months for visa processing. Then you also need time to process your offer. So let's say another 3 months for your offer. So you have 3 months for offer, 3 months for visa. That's already 6 months. Meaning that if you are going to resume in school by September 2026, that's the 9th month of the year, then before March, you should have started processing your admission. That would be like the latest time you should start processing your offer, because many things happen. Sometimes you have institutions where the admission, the processing of your offer should take like 6 weeks. But because your documentation is not complete, they ask you, oh, go and get us this document, or we need this document, or this document that you submitted is not okay, we need another copy. And maybe you need to reach out to your institution to get that. And that takes another 1 month. You see, another month has been added to the 6 months that you needed. So now you need 7. And maybe during visa processing, you also have some issues, and now you need another extra 1 month. That makes it 8 months already. So starting in March, you're already late. And if you miss that September, you are going to have to wait for another September. So that's why the earliest time that you can start is always now, if you have any plans of studying abroad. Because it is also possible for you, if you get your offer, you can always make a deferment if it becomes too close for comfort. But if you don't make that plan of starting early, then you're going to be stuck somehow, somewhere. Okay. And so these are some key personal situations to consider why you are actually thinking about the previous the previous issues that I raised. There are some people, maybe you finished high school in 2018, and this is 2025, that's 7 years ago. Now you're considering going to study for your master's, and if you are going to some countries, like I said, country policies differ. Let's say you want to go to Canada, for example. Canada is very sensitive when it comes to study gaps. So they want it to be that at least you were in school in the last 1 or 2 years. If not, you may not even be offered an admission, an offer in a university. And if they do, you may not be able to get a positive outcome on your visa. So these are things that you need to also consider. So if you are in this kind of situation, hope is not lost. You should have a conversation with ARUS, and then you'll be advised on what to do and how to go about closing your study gap. Another issue is low CGPA. Some of these things that I'm saying are based on conversations we've had over the years with different people from different countries who wants to go study abroad. So if your CGPA is very low, let's say you finished your bachelor's and you made a third class or you made a pass, then you want to do your master's degree. It's always very hard for you to get an offer when your CGPA is very low. But that's not to say it's impossible, because there are also other things that are considered for you. For example, your work experience might speak for you. So this is also something very important that you need to discuss if your CGPAs are very low. So don't give up on yourself and conclude that, oh, there's nothing for me here. I made a 2-point-something CGPA, and the minimum that this university is asking for is 3.0. Don't worry about that. Let there just be a conversation, and then you can find out what options are also open for you. The last item there is, when you have extreme changes in career path, meaning that you are already going, maybe you had a bachelor's degree in English, and then now suddenly you want to do a master's degree in data science. Those are two career paths that are not aligned. So when you have this kind of situation, most countries have policies that discourages that, because one, you don't have a background in the field that you want to go into. Two, your background, your foundation is completely different. So it doesn't give you strength for the new path that you want to start to tread. So this kind of situation could also call for some conversation, because instead of you applying and then you're losing out, ARUS will be able to advise you on what to do to make that happen, how to handle extreme changes in your career path. So this could be personal situations for some people here. So if these are your situation, it's not hopeless. It's not a hopeless situation. There's always a way out. So I would say just brace up and have a conversation with ARUS, and then you'll be advised and you'll see that you can make your dream come true. Okay, so another issue is the issue of money. Many people have already given up, like it's just not possible. There's nothing that I can do. So tuition, yes, it's always very high. And since I'm talking about 36 different countries, I just put those figures there, 5,000 to 50,000. Put the currency of the country that you want to go behind those figures. So that's why you see that there is no currency there. So whether it's the dollar or the pound sterling or the Chinese yen or the Malaysian ringgit, Yes, just put whatever it is that you have. I mean, the country of your dream, put the currency behind it. Your tuition will fall somewhere in between. And then on a general note, public institutions usually are cheaper. They have cheaper tuition than private institutions because they are mostly subsidized by the government, except for medical studies. Medical studies in most cases are a bit expensive with public institutions. Then we talk about living expenses. Of course, you're going to eat, you're going to pay rent, you're going to transport yourself, a number of other things that will call for paying or spending money. So, but living expenses, I won't say it's fixed because it depends on the country. It also depends on your personal situation. If you are rich and you want to live large, of course, and you can afford it, no one can say it's impossible. But if you have cash issues and you are not so buoyant, of course, you can also cut down on your expenses in so many ways. You can share apartments, you can cook your own meals, you can live on campus. There are so many things that you can do. So it all depends on your personal situation. And so that will take me to proof of fund, which is always a question that international students want to get answers to as soon as possible and as fast as possible. Why? Because, of course, you are required to provide that sometimes at the point of application if you are going to the US, or at the point of applying for your visa if you are going to a place like Canada. So you need the total sum of your 1 year tuition and your 1 year living expense, and maybe a little bit on top, if that's what you need to provide when it comes to your proof of fund. So think about it. If your tuition for 1 year is $10,000 and your living expense by the location of your study is another $10,000, it means that your proof of fund is expected to be at least $20,000. But I will say, don't make it 20,000. Make it 25,000. Make it 23,000. Make it 22,000. Don't just make it exactly that amount. It saves you a little bit of, pushing you a little bit beyond the edge. So if your question is how much do I need to show your proof of fund, that's what you need to show. 1 year tuition plus 1 year living expense plus a little amount on top of it. And that amount must be in your bank account or your sponsor's bank account for a minimum number of days or months, depending on the country you are going. For example, if you are going to study in the UK, usually for your visa application, it's going to be 28 days of keeping that money in your bank account. But because of the time it takes between your application and when your proof of fund is usually checked, you will actually end up with 2 months. So I would say plan for 2 months if you're going to the UK. Plan for 3 months if you are going to the US. Plan for 4 months if you are going to Canada. All other countries fall somewhere in between. And finally, information is power. International education is affordable. I put affordable in quotes because I know it's huge, it's a huge amount, but the truth is that it's affordable if you have the right information. And I want to congratulate everyone on the call today. That's exactly what you are doing. So you're on the right path to achieving your dream. So how do you decide? What should you look out for? What are the basic questions you need to ask to help you decide where to go? Because we do also get these questions. Which country should I go? What's the best course for me to study? And, all of these questions. What program should I study? Maybe sometimes some people, they already have a bachelor's degree, and now they are thinking maybe I should go for a master's degree. Or in some situation, it might be the best bet for them might be to go for another bachelor's degree. Some people already have masters. They are thinking, okay, what will I do now? I already have a master's. Maybe they need to go for another master's degree or go for a PhD. It depends on many factors. So some of the questions you may want to ask, or at least address in your heart to make sure that you are doing the best planning, will be one, what are your personal, so I'm starting from personal plans, right down at the bottom of my screen to the right. What are your personal plans? What exactly are you aiming for? What's your goal when you think about studying abroad? So you need to align whatever you are going to be doing right from the outset with your personal goals. For example, some people will say, I just want to get out and stay on there. I just need another passport, or I just want to go abroad, study abroad and get some work experience abroad before I come back to my country. So sometimes some people have that kind of goal. Some people's goal is, oh, I just want to go study and then go back home to my family, go back to my job. So those are all options that are open. So depending on what your personal goals are, then you'll be able to address some of these other questions. Two, leveraging stepping stones. By that I meant that sometimes, let's say your goal is to go and study in country B, but unfortunately you can't afford country B right now, but you can afford country A. So it's possible that you make country A your stepping stone to plan for going to country B. That's also a possibility. So sometimes, because you are going to study in country A doesn't mean that country A is your final goal. Maybe country B is still your final goal, but you just want to use country A as a stepping stone. So those are also things that you may want to consider. So now, going back to this other point, in-study opportunities are many. There are some countries and some universities and colleges where you can work while you are studying. There are some other countries where there are no jobs. You just come, you're not allowed to work as an international student. So depending on your goal, which I've mentioned, your personal plans, then you need to consider that to decide whether this country is a good fit. This country, maybe the tuition is cheap, living expenses is cheap, but then there is no opportunity to work. Does that work for you? If yes, then go for it. If not, then go think about going to another country. And then you also need to, there are also other in-study opportunities like scholarships, like studentships, like opportunity to maybe work as a research assistant. These are all opportunities that happens or that are open to you when you are studying, when you are already registered as a student. So you may want to know what is available in a particular country or institution before you go in, so that you know what benefits you can take. Secondly, what are the post-study benefits that you can have? There are some countries where after your study, you are given what they call post-graduation work permits that will be in Canada, and then I think in the US it's called post-op or something. And then in Australia, they have an equivalent, and most countries have some of these, some countries don't have. So OPT, OPT in the US, some of you will be familiar with that. So depending on your dream, your goal, then think about some of these opportunities. What is available in the country that you want to go? What is available for the course that you want to study? For example, some of these post-graduation work opportunities are only open to you if you study in certain institutions. In the same country, if you study in some other institutions, you don't have those privileges. And if you don't know, we have had cases like this where the students didn't know that this happens. So they just went and studied in these institutions, and after graduation, they discovered that, oh, the only option open to them is to go back home. And that was like, no, that was not part of the plan, but it was already too late. So these are things that you should find out so that you know how to plan. And then in another things to consider will be if you are able to stay back, then how long are you able to stay back? And if you are studying, are you able to bring your family? What will happen to your family during your post-study opportunities? Will they also be able to benefit? These are all questions that you may need to ask. So some countries allows you to bring your wife, bring your mother, bring your husband, or and your children. Some will tell you, no, you can only bring maybe one person and you cannot bring others. Some will tell you, okay, we allow you to bring your family, but you have to provide this amount of money to show that you are able to take care of them, and things like that. Some countries, the moment they give you an offer, while you are going to resume, you can go with your family. Some countries will tell you, you can't come with your family now. You have to come first, register, and then you can invite your family later. So some of these things, they are so different from country to country. So you need to find out which one applies to the country that you want to study in, and which one applies to your level of study. For example, if you are studying at bachelor's level, you are not expected to be married, even if you are 35 years old, because it's a bachelor's program. So, and you are not expected to be married. So in most countries, there are no opportunities for you to bring your wife or husband if you are studying at bachelor's level. But if you are a master's student or PhD student, or you are doing some professional studies, maybe you can be allowed to bring your family. So these are all things that you should consider and ask questions about them before you make a decision. Now, beyond the study years, there are also opportunities that are open. There are countries where you can, maybe after 2 years of working, after 3 years of studying, of working in the workforce, you can actually become a permanent resident. You can apply to become a permanent resident. There are some other countries where even if you stay there for the rest of your life, you can't be anything. So find out what works, what's the situation in the country that you are going, and then that will help you to make a decision on what is next for you. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing this to an end, as I also mentioned that your future has no borders except the one you create. Start early, like I said, and you can make it happen. If you start early enough, you have enough time to actually get help and, explore several options. Get help. Don't deny yourself. That's why Arrows is there for you. It's okay to not be sure. So don't worry if you have concerns, talk to someone, talk to Arrows, and then you will be able to clear your concerns or confusion. And start immediately. The journey of 1,000 years, they said it starts with a step. So take the first step. Reach out, fill the form. You can see the WhatsApp number on the screen, at the bottom of the screen, and then the website is also there. If you go to that website, you will see a tab, admissions. You click on that tab, you will see a form there. You will be able to see all the documents that you're going to need to be able to start your journey. It's free. I mean, fill in the form, it's totally free. You don't have to pay. Even your initial evaluation is totally free. So go ahead and do that. And may I also mention here that I've been told by Arrow's office to let you know that if you are here and your intention is to study in Malaysia, the consultancy fee is totally waived if you want to study in Malaysia. So everything starts with the mindset and grows with action. If you don't have the correct mindset, if you don't make up your mind, I really want to do this, it may not happen. I've seen that over these past 5 years with many people that have been working with Arrows. We always see that when they want it enough, it always happens for them. So I would say, start working on your mindset, get your mind in the right place, and take action. And while you are at that, stay informed. and see what you can do to make this happen. Think globally, think of all the opportunities out there in the world that you can take advantage of, and you will see that your dream can be made to come true. So those are my final words. You can see the arrows or details there. The website is also there. The WhatsApp number, you can always reach out anytime. The YouTube channel is there. Please go there. Practically any question you may want to ask. I think we might have covered them at one time or the other. But if you still have questions, or you have topics or issues you would like to be addressed, and you cannot find any of the videos on the YouTube channel addressing it, then reach out through any of the, maybe through comments or through WhatsApp, and request for a particular topic that you are interested in, and it will be addressed. So thank you very much for listening. And I think maybe we'll be taking, maybe I can take one or two questions, and then we'll move on straight to talk with Abigail, like I said. So if you have any question, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And if you have any question, this will be a good time to ask. But if there are no questions, we just go ahead and talk with Abigail. Any question? If you have a question, you can just unmute yourself and ask. Just go ahead, unmute yourself, ask your questions, and we'll address. Okay, I'm going to be assuming that there are no questions. And so.
But also encourage you to write down your questions in the chat as well, and we'll address them when we have the opportunity to. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So Abygael Chebat, can I invite you to? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for coming to share your experience. Abygael is currently a master's student, right?
No, bachelor's.
Oh, bachelor student in Malaysia. She's studying at University Technology Malaysia. That's my alma mater. So thank you for coming to our university. She's going to be sharing with us her experience, and if you have questions, we'll address them as we go on. So I'm going to ask Joash to start, and then we will have this conversation together.
Yeah, and such a privilege to meet Abigail, and her experience in studying in Malaysia will hopefully be an inspiration to a lot of people who is considering coming to the Southeast Asia, and also the land where I was born and raised and happy to be in. We welcome you in this country. Abigail, yeah, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and what were you doing before you were applying to study abroad?
Thank you so much for inviting me to share. So my name is Abygael Chebat. I come from Kenya, and yes, I'm doing my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. And before I came to Malaysia, I had actually started bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering back in Kenya. And I had done it for 1.5 years before I switched to coming to Malaysia. Yeah.
So what was that turning point for you? What made you decide that, hey, maybe I want to pursue my study outside of Kenya? And what was the driving motivation behind that? Yeah.
I think I need to specify that here I'm doing mechanical engineering, but the specification is aeronautics. And aeronautics was my initial interest, but in Kenya,
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
In Kenya, the option that I had at the time was to do aerospace engineering. And when I started doing it, I realized that this is not exactly what I wanted, because aerospace includes astronautical aspect of engineering. It also has the aeronautical bit, and I wasn't really keen on the space aspect. So I really just wanted to major on aeronautics. And also the way the degree was being taught and lectured in the school, it didn't really resonate with my liking. So I decided to find an opportunity to study elsewhere and preferably abroad, because we all know that when it comes to these kinds of engineering degrees, um, African countries don't take them as serious as they should. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so it was really the prospect of actually better quality of education, that helps you like, hey, I want to do it something else somewhere else. Yeah, I think that's a great motivation to think about. But why Malaysia? Like this country, what's it about this country that attracted you to study here over any other countries that you're thinking about?
So initially, there's a friend of mine who actually came to study in Malaysia, and she was doing biomedical engineering, and she spoke so highly of the country. And it was an idea, but I hadn't really cemented it in my head. So I was like, if by any chance I ever think of switching, I will consider Malaysia. So that was the first interest. Second, in my country, we know Malaysia for how can I explain it? They really advocate for engineering programs, and worldwide they're categorized very highly when it comes to the degrees in engineering, the masters in engineering, the work opportunities that they offer in engineering, well paying, the experience. And so yeah, that's why I chose Malaysia. Also, the the programs that they offer are quite affordable compared to other places. So yeah.
Yeah, so that was great to know. First of all, you have somebody recommend Malaysia to you, and the fact that you have heard good things about a country that it's particularly strong in engineering, which is something that you want to pursue as well. And affordability was something that you were looking for, and so that's all that consideration seems to lead to Malaysia. And I'm happy for you, for you to land in this place. Yeah, but what were some of the biggest fears and uncertainty that you experienced, right, when you had in the beginning of your journey?
So as I was doing my research, I found out that initially I didn't know that Malaysia is an Islamic country.
Mm,
Um, so I was a bit skeptical. I didn't know how they receive people who are not Muslim. It's a fear for everyone, and it was quite valid for me. So I was a bit skeptical, but after I had a few discussions with the Arrows team and with my friend who was also here doing her biomedical engineering degree, I realized that it's actually a safe, conducive place. It's hospitable, the people are friendly, and which other fear? Oh, I also felt like the expenses might be a bit hefty,
mm,
but so far so good. I can't really complain.
mm. Yeah, yeah. Um, I think for a fact that every person that think about studying abroad, culturally, it's always challenging to adjust. I know enough Nigerians that complains about Malaysian food. That's something that people need to adjust to, like having sugar in in flavoring. The Nigerians are always complaining, but eventually they all get used to it, right? And
Are you
yeah.
talking about someone here?
Yes, I'm talking about somebody who's listening in here. Um, and it's always I can understand how challenging that can be, to adjust to this, and we call it a culture shock, and something that you can think about, but it's also a good experience for anyone, to travel outside your own country
Yeah.
and experience something different for you. Yeah, what were some culture shocks for you, Abigail?
Number one, it's the food. It
Yeah.
has to be the food. It has to be the food. I remember when I first landed, I was taken to some fast food restaurant to have some food, and I ordered the chicken. I assumed the fried chicken is normal from like what I usually have. And to my surprise, it was sugary. I didn't expect that. I was very surprised. It wasn't bad, but it was sugary. So that's the first culture shock that I got. The other thing is the way Sundays are here in the country. Sunday is a very chill, normal day. And back home, Sunday is a day where everyone wakes up to go to church. Like everyone knows Sunday morning is this, and you hear
Sorry,
hear
sorry, for the participants, could you mute yourself and turn off your video, please? Yeah. Sylvester, can we mute our participant that are non-speakers, please? Okay. So sorry, Abigail. Continue. Go ahead. Yeah.
So as I said, the first culture shock was the food. It's
Yeah.
sugary, it's sugar. And it's not
Yeah.
only the chicken, there are other different types of stews and meat that is sugary, and I still don't understand why. And
Yeah.
um, there's the how Sundays are in
Mm,
around. I don't know about the other states and cities. I haven't really had the opportunity to visit other places, but around where I am, Sunday is treated as a very normal day. You'd think it's a weekday that is on a weekend, if that makes sense.
mm.
And back home, Sundays are treated like a holiday. So that's when all the outings happen. People are outside, people are very loud, chaotic. Uh, Also, this country is very quiet. I don't know whether it's around where I am, but people mind their own business. Everyone is quiet. People just go about their day very privately. And yeah, that was a culture shock to me because back home, everyone is in everyone's business.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's some of the culture shocks I've gotten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's something that our audience should expect, to any countries that you go to as well. Yeah, to experience. And you certainly got to Malaysia and study here through Aeros education. So how did you first hear about Aeros education?
So I heard about arrows through my mom.
Mm,
My mom is acquainted to Sylvester, and
mm.
so the communication began through that channel. And yeah, we talked about possible opportunities. I was particularly interested in Malaysia, so it was a bit easier and faster for me. So yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah. And I assume like a lot of agencies, education agencies in Kenya and across Africa, they charge you a fee for their services upfront. So what was your reaction when you learned that Aeros Education actually charged nothing at all for the admission into Malaysian public universities?
I was very surprised. If it wasn't for my mom being acquainted to the Arrows team, I don't think I would have thought it's legit. I would have thought it's a scam or just there've been so many scandals in Kenya where agencies, consultancies are scamming people of their money, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap. So even the places that successfully take people to other countries to study, they charge a lot. So hearing that Arrows doesn't charge anything for consultation. In my case, I didn't pay anything, and I was very surprised. I was very surprised. I didn't expect it to be this easy and this successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I feel like this reflects very much on our Malaysian hospitality and generosity. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, Dr. Vasedi, you want to say something?
I was just going to go on to, I think, talk about our arrival because it's 9 p.m. here, and I think that would be like 2 p.m. or something in Kenya or some other
Uh,
part of Africa. Sorry? 4 p.m.
around
Oh, around 4 p.m. Okay, so it's still daylight, just time because of our people. So I wanted you to go quickly to your arrival in Malaysia. So I think you can also cover the process, the admission process and all that, and everything that you experienced, the support that you felt, and the journey up till this point. Yeah, I think you can address all of that together. So I think tell us the story of your arrival, settling down, and then we'll go on to talk about your living in Malaysia. So
Okay. I arrived on 17th September, so that's like almost 3 months ago.
you're still new.
Yeah, still. And so the Arrows team sent over someone to come and pick me at the airport, and the process was very smooth. I felt very welcomed, and I was brought to my place. Arrows actually helped me find somewhere that is affordable and close to school, so to live and slowly get acquainted to how the system works here. And what else? So the admission process to school, it happened actually very immediately after I arrived. So I remember was it the following day? No, it was the following Monday. So one of the other members who also came here through Arrows actually took me through the admission process and going for the medicals. So I went to school, did the registration. It was a very smooth process. It took, I think, at least 2 hours. And then after that, I went and did the medicals. The medicals are compulsory for the school. I don't know whether other Malaysian schools you have to do a medical, but for UTM, you have to do it. So that is what will actually guarantee whether you get the student pass. So after the medicals, I had to wait for like 2 days for the results. And if the results are to their standard, then I proceeded to submit my passport for the student pass. That process took, I think, 3 weeks. It took around 3 weeks. Yeah, it took around 3 weeks to wait. And by this time, we were scheduled to start our classes. Yeah. And so that was my process of arriving and admitting to and admission to school. So for the classes, I could say that the classes are very interesting. They're very different from what I'm used to. The classes are more engaging, the lecturers are more engaging. They offer a lot of materials to study. And I found that very easy. The system is designed to help you actually pass. And from what I have personally experienced from the African institutions, it's as if those systems are designed for you to fail. I don't know if that statement makes sense, but yeah, uh, the engagement from the lecturers was astounding to me. It's very uplifting, very motivating. It actually made me want to actually perform better. And one thing that we were told here, especially in UTM, we were informed that you have to make sure that your GPA is above 2.0. Yeah. So you have to, in order to make sure that you can stay in Malaysia, you have to make sure that your GPA shows why you're here. So I can say that the application process is very interesting from what I have experienced so far. The exams, I've been able to do a couple of tests and quizzes, and I'd say they're fair. They're very, very fair. If you've studied and you've prepared, you'd easily integrate into the system and pass. Yeah. So what else? In terms of settling in and socializing with people around, I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit challenging for me, especially for the first month. It was very, very challenging to me because some people, I'd try and speak to them, especially for the local Malay. I had a bit of challenges in conversing with them because some maybe don't understand what I'm saying. But for the greater percentage, especially in school, they do understand English. So that was a tick for me. At least I was able to converse with some people in school. And along the way, I've met other African students, especially Nigerians. They're very nice, very accommodating.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. You guys have amazing food. So that's a plus, and it's a great transition from the normal sugary food. So that's a good thing. Um, Also, I was able to interact with another Kenyan who's in my class. I wasn't really expecting to meet Kenyans because Kenyans don't really plan to go to Malaysia. And I think we're all about changing that. So, yeah, I was able to meet a Kenyan in my class. And together we've still tried settling better. I can't say that 3 months is enough to settle down, but it's better to get acquainted with the routine and the system. Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else I should
Okay.
add?
I think before I ask you to talk about the affordability of life in Malaysia, I wanted to just address something for our audience, as many as are listening. Abigail mentioned something about medical tests when she was speaking just now. That's a very key point that anyone planning to study in Malaysia should know. You need to do medical tests, and there are two key tests, the HIV test and the hepatitis B virus test. If you fail any one of them, you're going back home. So we always advise, take the test at home before you come, so that if there is any issue, you can take care of yourself. Or when you are coming, don't do Thanksgiving yet that you're going abroad, because you may go back home. So wait until after the test and you're sure, okay, now you have been accepted fully here, then you can start to, go on Instagram and on Facebook and tell the whole world now you're in Malaysia. So I just wanted to address that for those who are listening. So talk about affordability of life here. Like, what does it cost to live on monthly basis? At least you've been here 3 months. What's the minimum that is required to survive, to live on a monthly basis? We're not talking of senators' kids or president's kids, but someone, a normal, regular, girl living here as an international student. What does it cost? How affordable is life here? And then
For my case, I think in Kenya specifically, easily live a comfortable life here. It's more or less the same. Yeah, it's more or less the same to having like a comfortable middle class in Kenya. For my case, I think surviving on 300 to 500 ringgit is more than enough for me. That's more than enough for
Does that
food.
include your accommodation?
No, that does not include my accommodation.
What's the total like, together with accommodation and feeding, transport, and all?
So if you are maybe like tight, specifically tight, and on my end, I've been trying to live on the lower end. For me, I think 1,000 to 1,200 Malaysian ringgit, and that is like so basically just multiply that by 30 or 32 shillings. Yeah, so that's the amount converted.
Okay, thank you very much. So 1,200 ringgit, you can survive, you can take care of your accommodation, your feeding, and any other cost that a student might have, basically. So to those listening, that's it for you if you're asking that question. So, and then, yeah, well, you have addressed meeting other African students. Now, if you could think of things that you wish you had known before you applied or before you came to Malaysia. What are the things that you would have changed if you had the chance?
I think I should have carried a lot of local ingredients to cook. That's one thing I wish I knew. I don't know why I never considered it. So I was able to carry like the Kenyan tea bags. You know, for Kenyans, we cannot survive without Kenyan tea bags. The tea out here, it tastes very different, very weird, and we survive on caffeine. So I think I was able to carry that, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
I think
And
at this rate, Joash is going to send you back to Kenya.
Yeah. Man, I'm so ready to kick her out of this call right now.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
I
So
you can find Lipton tea bags here, so maybe you need to get that. Maybe you're going for bowl, go for Lipton. That should be maybe close to Kenyan taste.
yeah, just that once in a while I miss the local dishes and the local beverages
Yeah.
that I was used to, you know.
Yeah. So others on the call, you can learn from that. If you are going to any country, do your best. Go with something that you can start life with in terms of food. I think it's usually the most difficult thing for internationals, whether you're going to school, you're going to work, whatever it is, when you go into a new country that you're not familiar with, even before all of the things that you're looking for, you eventually find them, but you won't find them immediately. So while you are still searching, trying to settle down, at least have something that you can fall back on. Maybe the rice or the beans or the whatever else from your country, and the condiments that can help you go to the market, buy vegetables, and cook something that tastes like what you're familiar with. So that's you don't worry, you will adjust, and maybe by the time you are done with 4 years here, you're going to be all over the place eating mee goreng and all their sampedas and whatever else is available here.
Yeah. You might start adding sugar in your food as well.
Maybe.
But I do enjoy the nasi goreng and the mee goreng. I enjoy it.
Okay, so we are coming to the end. Why will you, what will you advise if you have to speak directly to students in Kenya thinking of studying abroad? What will you advise them generally? What will you advise them concerning Malaysia? And what will you advise them concerning ARU's education? Address all of that together.
Okay. Wait, what was the first point?
If you have to speak directly to students in Kenya who are thinking about studying abroad. what will be your advice? Generally, what will be your advice regarding Malaysia? What will be your advice regarding ARU's education?
Okay. So first of all, I'd advise that you approach this with a very open mind. Most of the times, growing up, we are limited to thinking about Australia, America, Canada, the UK. So you also have to consider other countries, especially in Asia. Yeah, you should be open, do your research. In as much as you want to chase a country that offers a great degree program, master's program, whatever you're looking for, you also have to consider factors like, is the place easy to adjust, especially as an African, or with the religion that you practice? Also, maybe consider the ease of getting a visa. Yeah, so for my situation, it was very easy for me to consider Malaysia because Kenyans don't need a visa to go to Malaysia. So that's one of the factors that I think I'd advise people to look at. What else? Also, I'd advise you, in as much as you're looking for a great institution, also find out how easy it is to transition from studying to maybe working, because I'm pretty sure that after studying there for 4 or 5 years, you'd want to experience the work industry there before taking back that experience back home. So that would also be a good thing to consider. And yeah, so that's in regards to studying abroad. For Malaysia specifically, I think majorly find out what course you're particularly interested in. And with the course that you want, you can easily find an institution that suits what you want. For my case, I knew that I wanted a school that specifically focuses on engineering programs and also has great credibility globally when it comes to transitioning from studying to working. And also for Malaysia, I think I'd advise people to really consider Malaysia because the people working in Malaysia, they say that the pay is good, the treatment is good, the systems are efficient. Yeah, so that's a great factor to actually consider Malaysia. And affordability, that's also a very good point. You're able to survive with a very viable budget, and you can work, support yourself, and also support people back home. So that's also a good reason to choose Malaysia. For arrows, I'd highly recommend arrows to my fellow Kenyans because we are honestly tired of getting scammed. That's point number one. Point number two, the economy is hard. We need to find places where you're guaranteed that you're going to get a good school out of it. And at the same time, you don't spend money that you would have used in your personal expenses, in school fees, and you're spending it on a consultancy agency. So I'd highly recommend Arrows for that. Arrows has been very helpful in transitioning. They've been very helpful in the entire process. And to me, I think it goes beyond being just a consultancy. It's able to create connections, able to network, able to survive. And yeah, that's a very good factor to consider.
Thank you very much. One last thing that I want to actually mention here I remember my first time coming to Malaysia. Malaysia seems to have a reputation out there. Many people think Malaysia is an Islamic nation. So when you tell them you're coming to Malaysia, they are like, oh, wow, it's like you're going to Saudi Arabia. So I want you to address that. Do you go, are you a Christian or a Muslim? Do you go to church? What church do you go to? What do you practice? How is it, how easy is it to do that? I want you to address that briefly before we.
So I was very surprised. I actually thought I'd come here and find people in burqa and the niqab and, waking up early in the morning at 4 a.m. and hearing the imam calling people to pray. And I was very surprised. Things here move very smoothly, softly, quietly. If you're Christian, no one is gonna tell you that you have to convert, you can't practice your religion. No, they're very accepting of other religions. Got the opportunity to go to a church, so I go to church every Sunday, and the church is called Redeemed Christian Church of God or something like that. I'm not sure of the name.
The Redeemed Christian Church of God. That's a Nigerian church. Okay.
Yeah, and it gives you the feeling of being in an African church, which is really great. It rejuvenates the soul. So they're very free and accepting. So that's one good thing. Very friendly. What else? I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. I will hand over back to Joash to
Yeah,
hand up.
yeah. To add to that, constitutionally, Malaysia is a secular country, but a majority and our official religion is Islam. Constitutionally, we're free to practice our faith and our religious celebrations. So yeah, so come to Malaysia. Yeah. Um, to wrap this up, I thank you for sharing that. But before settling on Malay, I mean, I think this is a great hypothetical question for you. Maybe something that helps you think about the dreams that you have as well. If you had to choose another study destination, which country would you actually consider, and why? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. You don't have to do that kind thing that say, I'm still gonna choose Malaysia. No, you don't have to do that.
I think I'm not. I haven't really put much thought into it, but maybe a country in Europe.
Switzerland, perhaps.
Pardon?
Yeah, Switzerland, perhaps.
Maybe Switzerland, maybe Poland, maybe
Why?
Germany.
Why?
Why? I think it's the access to traveling to other European countries. That's a fact. And that would only be the reason why I would steer that direction.
Okay.
hmm Yeah, yeah. That's a good choice actually. And are you aware that we at Rose Education we support students in these European countries as well?
Yeah. I found out. I found that out. I think a month later. Yeah, I found that out a month later. But I don't think I would have still changed my mind.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what Eros Education do. Actually, I just got this question from a friend, just inquiring about our services, and it's like, hey, I just realized that you guys are not just doing Malaysia to other countries and other countries to Malaysia. It's like, yeah, of course, we're actually doing from countries to countries. And so if you have any questions about any countries, regardless of whether you're from Malaysia or not, just reach out to us, and we'll do our best to connect you to your dream destination. But we're not a traveling agency, we're an education agency. So we'll help you realize your dream of studying abroad there. And so I thank you, Abigail, so much for your sharing your experience. Dr. Wasedi, do you have anything to add on to that? Otherwise,
I just want to say thank you to Abigail for the sharing time, and to ask the audience if anyone have any question for Abigail or for us. This will be the time as we round up this session.
yeah, let's just give the floor about a minute or two to talk about. Yeah. I just realized that the chat is disabled, so nobody can ask question.
Oh, is it? Oh, Haros, can you enable the chat so people can send in their questions? But the audience, please feel free to unmute yourself or request to be unmuted, and then if you have any question.
Yeah, the chat is enabled, so you can type in your questions if you have.
Okay, if there are no questions, then I think this will be a very good point to stop and allow you to go on enjoying your weekend. And we will look forward to see you during the next edition of the Arrow Study Abroad webinar series. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank you, Abigail.